What's going on, everybody? So out here in Chicago again, doing some more samples, packing orders, wrapping bottle boxes and all that good stuff with the paper, getting everything done. I have the availability to be out here to help George for all the orders. First and foremost, thank you to everybody that ordered all the Zed Creative fragrances. It's been an overwhelmingly positive response, and I just greatly appreciate you guys. So what I bring on the trip, I always do videos like this. I actually have 7 fragrances that I brought with me. My trip is going to translate from the nice and cold weather that we have out here in Chicago to I'm heading south. I'm going to be stopping in Louisiana and Texas. So it's going to be slightly warmer than what I've been using. So I actually brought a few slightly fresher than one's really fresh. Some fresher stuff with me, as well as some dense and heavier items. And I want to talk to you about them. So stay tuned. Might as well start with what I wore today. This was my first full wearing. I'm going to wear this again and probably do a full review within the next week. Been doing a lot of test sprays. Very lovely fragrance. This is from Como Lake. This is called Notturno, which translates to nocturne, I believe. Yeah, nocturne, Notturno. This is good stuff. This is what I wore today. It's very spicy, creamy, and a little funky type of oud. So I haven't been wearing too much funky oud lately. What I mean by funky, it's got that distinctive oudy type of smell. So if you've smelled an oud that has kind of that, I guess you could call it a muskiness, kind of a musky oud in some ways, like a dirty musky kind of smell, almost chocolatey in some ways as well. I know that's kind of an odd description, but some of you totally get where I'm coming from with that. This has that very ambery, a lot of spice here, and it's very creamy and sweet. So not the deepest and most complex of fragrances. It does stay pretty linear on my skin for the most part, but this stuff lasts and lasts and lasts. It smells so good. It's such a great casual, I don't see this as a really dressy type of oud, but a slightly more casual, semi-formal, semi-casual type of styled oud because of the sweetness. There's a kind of a leisurely playfulness to it. This is some good stuff. As you can see, it has a fantastic atomizer. You can pick these up from Kingdom Fragrances. That's where this bottle came from. It's really, really good. I'm enjoying it so far. Like I said, I've only had a few test sprays, and then today was my first full wearing. And not overwhelmingly strong. I mean, at first, it's really strong. The sillage is on the moderate to mild side, and it definitely lasts a really long time. But this is one worth getting a sample on and trying out if you want something that's not out of the norm, challenging oud. A little bit more mass appealing, but still has some of that funkiness that some people really enjoy in oud. Como Lake, Notturno. Next, we'll jump into something fresh that I brought. I haven't wore this one in a little while since it cooled down, and this is really good stuff. I know it's more than likely you have to blind buy it to check it out, but I did a review on this one a while back. This is Blue Atlas Atlantis. This is really, really good. I like the peach apricot combo. There's a little bit of florals here, but I don't get a hefty dose of iris. This is a great everyday scent. Gives this ozonic, bright, fresh feel to it. A lot of citrus up top with the peach and apricot. And typically peach is going to be a much more feminine citrus note. You'll find that in more women's fragrances, but it really works well here, and I still smell it floating in the air. I get really good performance without it being super loud. After about an hour and a half, it calms down, it gets close to the skin. It's not some crazy strong sillage, but it's a great daily wear type of fragrance. It's got enough strength that if you like fresh, it's a little fresh and sweet because of the apricot. It's a little bit on the sweet side as far as fruits are concerned, but not super sweet. More juicy fresh with a little bit of underlying sweetness as it dries. Lovely stuff, very clean and musky, light woody smell. It's a great fragrance. I don't care what anybody says. I've heard negativity about this one, that only reason anybody with a channel talks about it is because they're giving free bottles and all that. Try it. It's a really good fragrance. I mean, hell, I brought it on the trip to wear the damn thing. It's really, really good. It's just such a good scent. So probably save this one for when I hit Louisiana. I might wear this on my next travel day because at the recording of this, it is Tuesday, and I'm flying out to Louisiana on Friday. So I might save this as my travel day scent because it'd be a great travel day scent. Not going to be offensive. If anybody smells it, they're definitely going to think it smells really nice. Good stuff, worth trying. Glad I brought it. It's Blue Atlas Atlantis. As far as one that I brought to wear out here in Chicago while it's cold, a Zaharoff Pour Homme Intense. I've been talking about it lately. I am ready to wear this stuff. Sweet, boozy, spicy, more spicy and boozy than anything else. It's a brandy note. That's where the sweetness kind of comes from. Still has that aromatic barbershop feel to it that the original had. Much more modernized scent. Doesn't smell like an old man fragrance like a Zaharoff Pour Homme seems to get labeled, which I do enjoy that one, but this is the ultimate version of the DNA in my opinion. This stuff is so good. You can find it in the $40 range. It performs. It doesn't smell super cheap to me. Some people may say it smells cheap. Some people will be right in line with me. It all depends on your palate. If you wear a lot of niche fragrances, yeah, those probably smell pretty cheap to you. But if you like designers, it's a pretty damn good designer, especially for the price. It's a straight up cheapie from discounters. And in my opinion, for all the countless flankers they have put out in this line, this is the king of the mountain. Really good stuff. Like I said, performance is great too. Right, probably gonna wear this one the day this video goes live. Zaharoff Pour Homme Intense. Another fresh one that I have not wore just yet is kind of it's an Armaf fragrance, but it's basically their version of one of my favorite fragrances, which is an Invictus Aqua, my actual favorite fragrance. This is from the Armaf niche line. This is Sapphire. So this is one that I picked up from Perfume Online not that long ago. I have not wore this one yet. I've sprayed it once. I know what it smells like. It does smell indeed like Invictus Aqua. It's not as harsh as you may think for it being Armaf. It's a very clean, soapy, aquatic type of smell. Obviously a little powdery. It's got a lot of grapefruit in the top. This is more Invictus Aqua 2016 than it is 2018. I really like this one. Performance so far in my testing has been great, and I am going to be rocking this one when I go to Louisiana and Texas. I wanted to bring this one because I'm heading down south, and I know it's going to be in the 60s, possibly even the 70s some days. So I'll have nice enough, not super hot weather, but warm enough weather to really rock some fresher stuff. And that's why I wanted to bring this. I haven't been spending any time with it, and shame on me. I was excited to get it. I like how it smells. When it comes to Invictus Aqua's DNA, you can never go wrong with me because it's my favorite fragrance ever. 2018 specifically is my favorite fragrance ever. But glad to have this one with me. I'll definitely be wearing it in the upcoming days. Armaf Sapphire from the niche line. So when I said I was going to wear a Zaharoff Pour Homme tomorrow, it's a toss-up. I'll either wear that tomorrow or this tomorrow, and whichever one I don't wear tomorrow, I'll wear the following day. Because this is Nishane Ani, one of, and I'll say it right here and now, one of the greatest fragrances ever made. I am such a fan of this fragrance. Vanilla benzoin, amber done right. The benzoin's a little bit of boozy and effervescent type of feel at the top, very bright, warm and spicy, with a slightly unique vanilla smell. It's a little creamy, but not too creamy. It's sweet, but not overly sweet. Like, it's counterbalanced pretty well with the warmth and the spice. It's just really intoxicating. This is just so, so good. For what I have from Nishane, best of the house. Overall, maybe not. Neff's, I don't have a bottle of. I've only smelled one time, and I was pretty blown away by that. I'm sure that can rival this for which one do I really feel is the best of the house. And then other fragrances from the house that I have are just all phenomenal. Everything's really good. Nishane is one of my favorite niche houses, and this is my favorite from the brand. If you haven't smelled this one yet, and you like vanilla, you like amber, you like benzoin, you like spice, anything like that, you like seductive scent profiles that you're not going to be able to stop smelling yourself, you might want to get a decant, try this one out, get a carded sample, something, because it's so good. It's Nishane Ani. For some, this is going to be boring that I brought this, but I haven't worn it in several weeks, if not over maybe a month and a half, 2 months. It's been a little while, but I brought Sauvage EDP with me. Why the hell not? When in doubt, you can just spray this sucker and you'll be fine. Works out here in the cold, will be just fine if it's a little bit warmer in the south with the humidity. Versatile, hyper versatile, spicy shower gel scent basically. People knock it, people love it. Super polarizing, I understand all that, but I just really enjoyed it. I almost brought the Parfum, but I was like, no, I wanted to pack smaller bottles this time and maybe not as many bottles as I typically bring when I travel. And I wanted to bring some more versatile stuff, not just specific, because I do have some specific, like I'm only gonna wear these when it's cold, and some that I'm only gonna wear if it's a little warmer. Whereas this, don't matter. Don't matter. It's Sauvage EDP. It's gonna work in the heat. It's gonna work in the cold. It's gonna work anywhere in between. And no matter what I'm wearing also. Just really good stuff, performs great on my skin, and it's a compliment magnet. Don't let anybody talk you out of this one. Go try it for yourself, because I'm definitely digging it. Brought it with me for the trip, Sauvage Eau de Parfum. Now this last one is technically going to be a first impressions that we're going to do together in this video. I'm going to put it in the thumbnail as well to let people know, because there's people that want my opinion on this. It's the newest release from Happyland. This is called Malpaso. I don't know what the hell's going on with this one. I never look at the notes when EJ sends me one of his new releases. I got a test strip right here. We're going to spray this one and see what it's all about. There's a couple good sprays. That's going to fill this room. I don't know what to expect. I would assume it's going to be a heavier fragrance because of the time of the year. Let that dry for a second. They got bullet holes in this wood grain. I mean, it's a sticker, but it's got a wood grain panel look. Western style, so let's see. Woof. Heavy, dark, old school vibe here. You know what? I don't even want to risk not getting the full story here. We're just going to go on skin. I don't even know why I bothered with this thing, because they're not worthless, but they don't give you enough like skin does. Ooh, this is... It's almost got like a clove smell to it. I say almost. It smells like cloves are in here. Dark, spicy tone. Yeah, it smells like clove. Something hefty and woody, possibly some oud maybe. Earthy, dark, spicy, even a little boozy. This one's changing pretty quickly. This is different. Up top it gave me this old school feel, and it's quickly settling into something that's still on the mature side. I can't see too many young guys really enjoying it. Like, I can't imagine a 20-year-old being like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm not saying those guys don't exist at 20 years old, but I think this is a 30-plus-year-old scent. Somebody a little bit more up in age. Not that 30's old, but you're at a different stage in life from 20 to 30. Just, it is what it is. Taste changes a lot by that point. There's a bit of a sweetness coming in, and I really feel like there's a boozy note here. Can't specifically tell what it is. I don't think it's cognac, because that would be a bit sweeter. Maybe like a rum note, something along those lines. But this is really good. This is really good. This is one of the better releases from this year. He just keeps dropping bangers this year, guys. Those of you familiar with Happyland, you know what I'm talking about. This has been probably the best year ever for EJ with Happyland when it comes to amazing releases. Like, he's been outdoing himself all year long. I'm convinced there's like a cloves note. There's even like this old floral tone, like a... I could be way off here, but this is what it smells like to me. Like a carnation. Because carnation is so distinctive. I think that's... If there's carnation and clove in here, I wouldn't be surprised, because it gives me that old school spicy floral vibe of what a carnation note. It smells like carnation and cloves. I think that's two dominating figures here in this composition. Damn, this is good. Since I'm recording on my phone, I can't just pull the notes up. So what I'm gonna have to do, stop recording, go look, and come talk to you guys about it right after. So real quick before I do that, I think there's a boozy note here, probably rum. There's something very woody about it. Now, the cloves could be fooling me with a dense wood to make me think there's maybe some oud, but I'm thinking there's possibly some oud, but I'm pretty sure there's clove. I want to say there's carnation, something ambery, but I think clove is giving off this spice. There's something really spicy and dark about this fragrance, but I'll be right back. Okay, so it's an interesting note breakdown. There's spices, woods, florals. These not specific, but there's castoreum. That's what's giving this animalic tone. Woods, florals. I mean, probably everything I've said is in here, because that's how it smells. Spices, it's what's listed as well. It's very broad. Castoreum makes sense for this animalic tone. It's not cloves I'm getting that's giving this dark animalic tone. There's leather as well. Leather was listed. So a lot of that makes sense. It was giving kind of this oud wood heavy, clove, dark, earthy, spicy tone. But it's probably more the castoreum and the leather that's giving me this dark, almost funky feel. It's really nice. It's really, really nice. I could see guys like Joe from Dry Down Lowdown really digging this one. I know he got it before I did, and I immediately stopped looking because I don't like to be influenced by others' thoughts, especially when it comes to EJ's fragrances, because I've had such a long stretch of going in blind, seeing what I think about them, and then checking the notes after the fact. But definitely sample worthy if anything I said about this sounds good, because it's pretty much everything I said. I was pretty accurate for the most part, especially with the accords and the tones. Notes were a little bit different from what I anticipated, much more broad. I really feel like just about everything I said is indeed in the fragrance, but it's going to be a beast performer. They always are. But I'll be wearing this one over the next couple days as well. It's Happyland Malpaso. Well, that's the 7 fragrances that I brought with me on my trip. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What have you guys been rocking? Very curious. Did you see anything in this video that you're curious about? Did it surprise you with what I brought this time? A little bit more variety than usual. If I would say what my favorite that I've worn so far is, I would say Como Lake Notturno is definitely impressing me. Going to be wearing this one again this trip for sure. Continuing to spend time with it. It's easy to really work on a review when you really dig the fragrance, and I really dig this fragrance. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of these 7 and you give them a spray now, probably end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.